please come and get seated. They're all from Fullerton College and they're here to talk to you. I thought we'd do something that's also useful, because one of the first times I went to a conference about the brain, it was in Boston, and there were teachers from Harvard and MIT researchers teaching teachers how to use brain science to learn better. And one of the things I took away from that is blood is necessary for your brain to work. But when you sit down, the blood pools in your seat and in your feet, meaning it's not up here. So what you need to do right now is stand up and walk in place, because then your calves are a great little pump. So go ahead, stand up. You're going to get the blood back into your brain by stomping your feet around in place, right? That's going to move everything back up so your brain can work again. This is really important after lunch, too. You got to stomp around a little bit. I'm going to start over here, and if you wanted to maybe give a little background about the whole student ambassador thing to start back.
Yes. So hi, my name is Sarah Rao. This is actually my third year at Fullerton College. I'm a child psychology major and hoping to transfer to San Diego State University to continue and expand my education and growth in my professional field. A little bit about PTI. So we're all student ambassadors at Fullerton College. We're here to guide students to help them become successful both personally and professionally in their academic studies, and to help them really grow and learn all the new strategies and skills to help them really go for their greatest potential in life and who they really want to become, and just reach their greatest potential, and really want to make sure that, you know, they can be whoever they want to be. They just have to really believe in their capabilities and put their best foot forward.
My name is Marcela Vasquez, and my major is biology, and I am in my fourth year at Fullerton College, and I'm hoping to transfer to Cal State, aspiring a PhD or a master's, and I hope to become a college professor one day.
Hi, my name is Kathleen Gabrini, and I am an international relations major. It is my third year at Fullerton College, and I hope to transfer to UC Davis.
Hi, my name is Charmaine Concepcion. I'm majoring in child development to become an educator one day. Yeah! And like Marcel said, I'm looking forward to becoming, getting my master's and hopefully my PhD as well. I might follow Miguel Power's footstep of researching more about growth mindset and share about that more in different campuses. What else are we talking about? Oh, how many years? I've been at Fullerton College, I think it's my third year now, and I'll be transferring next fall. I'm applying for UCLA, so hopefully I'll get in there.
My name's Corey Lamb. I'm a student ambassador with the PTI Growth Mindset at Fullerton College. I'm also a student at Fullerton College in my third year, preparing to transfer next fall. UC Berkeley, UCLA, Pomona College are all schools on my list. I'm also a single parent of a 5-year-old little girl and a recovering drug addict. I flunked out of high school in 1999 and didn't return to academics for another 17 years. I started that journey back at the School of Continuing Education Wilshire Center with GED prep classes. That really propelled me forward in life. It's been life-altering my time at Fullerton College.
So I'm grateful that they're all here, and they're going to share some information, and we're definitely going to open up for questions, because they're people who've been in situations similar to you, and you might have questions about what they've done and what they've accomplished, but they had some things they prepared. So the first real question after the introductions is, how did you encounter growth mindset, and how has it enriched your academic career? So how did you encounter growth mindset, and how has it enriched your academic career?
So I encountered growth mindset my first semester at Fullerton College in English 99, so that's my first English class that I took. You learn more from your failures and your successes. Just because you fail, that doesn't mean you're a failure. You have to eventually, a person cannot learn and a person cannot get to the top of the mountain until they don't know how to until they don't know how to learn to climb, right? So you have to learn how to climb in order to get to the top of the mountain. So being in English 99, it really taught me that, yeah, the struggle is in the beginning, but that's how you learn. That's what the learning really takes place when you're struggling, and that's how you become successful. So it's like you create like a little storybook, you know, yeah, the past chapters don't matter, but what matters is the end of the story, and the end of the story is where you really believed in yourself and you got to where you really wanted to become. Growth mindset really enriched me as a student, both personally and professionally, because my parents actually never wanted me to go to college. I actually first started here at Anaheim campus with the medical assistant program. So starting off here and really trying to decide what I really want to become really made me think that I really love working with children, and psychology is really important because you carry it with you on a daily basis. So that's where I took the step to expand my career, first professionally. So learning about growth mindset, learning about Miguel powers has really taught me that, you know, I can become whoever I want. I just have to put my best foot forward, because, you know, education is priceless. Some students value academics while other students devalue education. So an individual shouldn't take education for granted, because you don't know what purpose you can leave, you know, in an individual's life by telling our story.
So the first time I experienced growth mindset was in my first English class that I took my freshman year. We kind of just touched on it briefly, but we didn't go into depth. I didn't learn how to apply it to my educational studies. Like, I just learned about it and that was it. But when I really started applying to it was when I took 2 math courses at the same time. I took trigonometry and college algebra, which was considering like my past education, like I was never good at like school. I had like C's, I was below average. My teachers didn't really believe in me, and sorry. So like having that like set in your brain, like when you take these 2 math courses and you already know it's going to be a challenge, you kind of start shutting down. But I had to like really change my mindset from being fixed to growth, and I had to say like I can learn it and I just need to use my resources really well. So when I took those 2 math courses, I actually did really well. And not only was like finishing those math courses rewarding, but the fact that I took on that challenge and faced my fears and got the help, like that was really rewarding for me. And not only in like math, but also like my STEM courses, like being surrounded by like many individuals that have like that really strong foundation, like intimidates you. So you start being pushed into like this little like box where you're like, I can't get out of this box, but you have to like push out of it, and you have to like step out of that box and see like I can grow. Like I don't have to be so fixed on like being a failure in the past. Like I can be successful, and that's how I incorporated growth mindset and like the intelligent practice and everything that I learned. So, but also thank you, Miguel Powers. Like I took that education. Like it doesn't define you. Like you're great, but it's what you do with your education and the challenges you face, and not like letting it define you, but like how much you have overcome. And that's how I apply growth mindset to my classes.
Okay, so I don't think I encountered growth mindset until I actually became a growth mindset ambassador. I had heard about it previously, but I never really knew like its potential pretty much. But growth mindset has really allowed me to become passionate about learning and just continuing my education, because I think before I was really like, I was really just trying to get like the grade notes in my classes, and I never really like enjoyed the material. I was just like, oh, if I get grades, like I'll just keep going. But growth mindset has really allowed me to, just like I said, become more passionate about learning and just know that I can achieve like whatever I'm mind to.
See, when I first encountered growth mindset, I didn't know the concept just yet, but I started applying it in my life. So what happened was, before I went to Fullerton College, I went to LSAT for for a couple of years, and I skipped a year. I just decided to just work and focus on that. And after a year, I got a relationship with my former partner, and I had to move out of the house. And I lived with my sister for a couple of months. And I was debating whether to go back to school or just keep on working. And what happened was she kicked me out of the house, so I had to find another place to live. And I was like, okay, if I need to find a place to live, that means like I can't go back to school. But then I had a friend who told me like, no, just go back to school. Like you're gonna be fine. You'll figure it out. It's gonna come together. I promise. So I was like, okay. I listened to her. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go back to school. So when I first registered for Fullerton College, I had this mindset that, you know what? Since it's a new school, it's a restart, it's a fresh start. I want to maintain straight A's studying from here. Because when I went to Mount Sac, I just went to school just the heck of it and like just tried to pass the class with C or above. I didn't have the goal of like I want to get straight A's. So when I enrolled for Fullerton College, that was my mindset. Like I want to make sure that I have that 4.0 GPA. So I've been maintaining it in the past few semesters, and except for one class, I took political science and I got a B. And I know it's not a bad grade, but then, when I was maintaining that straight A's, maintaining that 4.0 GPA, and that B screwed me up. And I think I have 3.96 now. I know it's a good GPA, but because of the growth mindset, I know that I can always do better. And so having that growth mindset not only helped me with academic, but like in personal life, that no matter obstacles that comes towards me, like any challenges that come into my life, it's only temporary. There's always another way for you to overcome those challenges, because if you don't get those challenges, if you don't experience those, you don't learn from it. So therefore, having that growth mindset keeps me motivated and keeps me helps me motivate me and push me towards doing much better and having this bigger dream instead of having a small dream and limiting myself of doing certain things, if that makes sense.
So I encountered growth mindset my very first semester. It was 2016. Again, this was after a 17-year break from high school, and I made no effort in high school. So I attended a workshop presented by this guy over here, Dr. Miguel, called Growth Mindset. I was really looking for anything to help me that semester. I was struggling so bad and constantly considering quitting and leaving. I was like, this education thing obviously isn't meant for me, just like it wasn't back in high school. I really felt that I wasn't intelligent enough to keep up. I had been out of school almost 2 decades, a drug addict. I thought that I had permanently fried my brain. That was my belief, is that the drugs had permanent consequences and there was no way that I was going to be able to keep this up. But I went to this workshop and I started talking about the neuroscience behind it, and it led me to understand that I can grow and change my brain to work more efficiently. That gave me the confidence to persevere and to persist and just keep on trying. I now have about to graduate with a 4.0 GPA. I'm looking at some major transfer schools, but I'm like a growth mindset extremist. I go into a class and it's like I'm going to get an A. My counselor's like, Corey, dude, just relax. It's okay if you're going to get a B. And I'm like, yeah, I know that's okay, but I know that I can learn this material. I may not know the method yet, I may not know the strategy yet, as Miguel was telling you guys earlier, there's all these different things that come together to help you overcome. You can get an A in your class, you can overcome, you just have to find the strategies, you have to find the person that can help you, and you got to put forth the effort. Anything is possible academically, you just need to follow that formula.
Now they signed up for a couple specific questions. They're not all going to answer every question. So next we're going to ask Marcela, describe a time you experienced a challenge as a student.
So So a time that I experienced a challenge as a student, as I mentioned, I am a biology major, and prior to college, I probably only took like life science, and I took biology and like dropped it because I didn't think it was for me. And as I said, like my educational past isn't the best. My freshman year in high school, I was kind of like a bad kid. I got sent to continuation school my sophomore year, and I thought like that was it for me. Like this is the path that I'm going to go down, and you know, I don't know what to do. But I did have like one teacher that saw that potential in me, and she really pushed me forward. So that was like the first time I had a teacher believe in me, was my sophomore year. The second time was when I took a medical careers class with the ROP institution. And that's when my interest in science really began. Like I figured like that was a passion, and that's what I really wanted to do, was to learn about science. So when I graduated from high school, I said this is like a fresh new start for me. And when I started taking my STEM courses, I realized that my foundation wasn't as strong as every other student in the class. Like they had already taken AP Chem in high school, they had already taken calculus, they had already taken all these high-level classes. While I was in pre-algebra, I had never taken the chemistry course before, and I had dropped bio in high school. I was really intimidated by every other student, and like I said, I started shutting down. But I just had to have that moment of realization that I can learn this subject and really apply it, like the growth mindset part of it. And so then that was how that started, and then I did have another moment of challenge, like when I took a higher level biology class and my professor told me to change majors because I wasn't passing. So that was very challenging for me because I didn't have that support again, and not also by my professor, but one of my siblings was telling me that maybe it wasn't for me. So sorry, I don't want to get emotional. Even to this day, like, not having that emotional support from like your family sometimes, it kind of sucks. You have to find that support in yourself. And luckily my mom has been very understanding lately, and she has helped me a lot. And she saw me break down like last week, so having that emotional support was not having that emotional support has been very challenging for me as a student. And I'm glad that I have these guys with me. Sorry, I'm kidding. And overcoming that challenge, it's been very wonderful. And like I said, having these guys with me is like really great. So, yeah.
So what I appreciate the students being so vulnerable, right? Talking about their challenges. And we talked earlier about that panic cliff, right? So they found people to help them when they needed that help, and then here they are trying to help share their story with you. So I think this is a great example of the kind of learning environment that we create here at a place like Fullerton College and NOCE. So I think that I'm really grateful for their willingness to be this vulnerable.
Can I answer the question? I would also like to answer the same question. So pretty much, my first year at Fullerton College, I took Bio 101, which is a general ed class needed to transfer. And contrary to Marcela, I never liked science. I really thought science wasn't for me, and I think a lot of students think the same thing. And so I had a really a hard teacher, and a lot of people were dropping, but throughout the semester I just tried to go to her office hours after every exam. She gave us the opportunity to go over our previous tests, so I would do that. And I also formed study groups, and I hadn't heard about growth mindset previously, and I didn't really, like I said, like I kind of just tried to, I tried my best, but I didn't really know like how to approach the subject. But little did I know, going to office hours and forming study groups is one of the number one strategies that students do for success. So I really encourage you to do that, because professors and teachers will help you if you go to them. So that's all.
you. I'm glad you shared. Thank you. That's true. It's actually one of the #1 symbols or indicators of student success. If you go and talk to your instructors for help. At our college, we had a student, a faculty member asked, like, why don't you come to my office hours? And the student said, I thought your office hours were the special time where you were in your office and we're not supposed to bug you. So now on my campus, a lot of us have changed it. We call them student hours now, just in case there's any confusion. Like, that's what they're for. If you didn't know, office hours are time where a faculty member is there for you. So you should take advantage of it. It is one of the best strategies for becoming more successful. So the next question, what was the most challenging part of your college experience and how did you overcome that and what did you learn?
Okay, so I briefly mentioned in my introduction. So I think one of the hardest challenges that I had to face before my college experience and during my college experience was when my parents never wanted me to go to college. They always thought of me as a failure. They still do, which, I know I'm not a failure. No one's a failure in life. And that's when I always thought to myself before I even started college that, am I really out of college league? Like, can I ever get a college education? Will I be able to become the person who I really want to become in life? And I always thought to myself, like, am I really a failure in life? So I almost sacrificed my college education for my parents. I was like, I don't think I'm not going to go to college at all. I'll just, work and just live my life, the way my parents wanted me to live. And then I was talking to my friend, and she's like, it broke her heart when I told her that I was going to sacrifice my education for my parents. But then it hit me later on that my parents actually broke my heart, that they didn't want me to get a college education. They always say that you think you can do something, but I know you can never do it. So then I just decided, I want to live the life I've dreamt of, not the life others perceived for me to live. So I took a stand, and I was like, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to register. Spring 2017 was my first semester. So I registered. It was very overwhelming. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what classes to take. So I just took like 7 units just to start off to see how I like it. Then I started growing as a student, and I was like, let me just keep on taking more units. So I took 15 units, and it was hard, working every day and going to school Monday through Saturday was very hard. And even that, I thought that my parents will actually kind of be proud, like, oh, she's actually doing good, she's maintaining good grades, she's really going for what she wants to do in life. And hearing the word, like, you're not going to do it, you're not going to make it, you're never going to become a child psychologist. That really got me thinking, like, should I give up? That's when I had a fixed mindset. Because I was getting like 2 C's and 2 A's with all that stress on top of that negativity with my parents. That was the most challenging, but, it made me just keep on moving forward, Like, think about why you first started instead of giving up. Oh, as students say, I give up, this is not for me, Think about why you first started. You started to get to the finish line, So I kept on growing, and I'm like, I'm going to go for my education. I'm just going to continue. It is what it is, I'm going to become who I really, really want to become in life and prove it to my parents that I made a right decision. So being here, a successful ambassador with all of my team, and a really great coordinator, Miguel has really taught me that, I am making my own identity, and I know my parents may not be proud of me yet, but eventually, one day, they'll say that she actually did it, and she got to where she really wanted to come. Because we all hold a key in our hands, as individuals and as students. You just have to know what door it fits to the destination that's kind of waiting for arrival, and that destination is a really bright future. We may not see it yet, but eventually, that light in that dark tunnel is still visible.
Thank you. You guys are inspiring. Okay. Got 2 more questions. Start with Charmaine and then Corey. What did a teacher do to increase your growth mindset? And what did a teacher do to motivate your growth mindset? So what did a teacher do that maybe decreased your growth mindset? Or what did one do that increased your growth mindset?
Hello again. So definitely increased. Again, my growth mindset was created my first semester. I didn't really have a specific or single teacher helping me. I more like had entire divisions helping me. I went to every office hour. I hung out in the hall. I stalked them in the quad. Hey, I have no idea what I'm doing. Can you please help me? I need help. I'm answering. Anybody have any questions? Me. This is me. I have lots of questions. What did you just say? What did I just create? I don't know what's going on here. I'm so confused. So my reading 142, it's college level reading. That was my very first class that I took at Fullerton College. My professor, Darnell Kemp. She was just so compassionate to my problems. I mean, I'd be freaking out at 10:30 at night and emailing her, not really thinking that, maybe that would be sort of not the best time to email a professor, but you know what, she for whatever reason, her giant heart, she would respond at 10:30. She's like, Corey, just take a deep breath. It's only week 3. You got an A in the class. You don't need to be freaking out right now. Everything's going to be fine. You're going to figure this out. As you take more classes, you'll become a better reader. All this stuff. So she really, she had confidence in me, and that really made me think, if she has confidence in me, maybe I should believe in myself. All of the professors that you have here that you're gonna find at other colleges and stuff, they're in it for a reason. They genuinely want you to succeed. They want to see you do well. They're there for you. There's so many programs and resources for you. I'm a DSS student myself. So everything that lady said to you earlier, the earlier presenter said, is true. There's accommodations for you to help you in almost every aspect. Another instance that really helped me grow was the concept of mindfulness. I spent some time that semester in a reading lab, and the reading professors had take turns babysitting us in the lab and answering questions. So at one of my trademark peak anxiety freakouts, I'm sitting there not knowing what I'm doing, and this other professor, Deidre Hughes, she goes, do you know what mindfulness is? And I said, I have no idea what that is. And she explained it's a type of meditation. She said, I have a workshop coming up on it. Would you like to attend? And I said, yeah. She's like, I think it'll really help you. Anytime somebody says that to me, I'm like, oh, help. I like help. I want help. I'll be there. So I went, and I learned some basic breathing techniques. I learned to focus on the present, not be worrying about the future and dwelling on the past. She did a lot of guided meditation and stuff. And this stuff, I didn't think that it was academic, but it really, truly helped me. It gave me the ability to stay present in the classroom, to calm down, to not be worrying so much about the test that's coming up and paying attention to what the teacher has to say. It gave me the ability to do 2 feet in a breath, like Miguel mentioned earlier. The smallest, shortest meditation you can do. You just stop where you're walking before you enter a room. You feel your 2 feet touching the ground. You acknowledge, the situation that you're in, and you take a deep breath. And that alone, before walking into an exam, can make a world of difference. Or maybe during the exam, where you're, about to have a panic attack, you just close your eyes, feel your feet on the ground, and take a nice deep breath. Recenter yourself back into the present. Recenter yourself back into your environment, and take it from there. So these are all workshops and resources and stuff that are just there to help you.
My experience was increased as well. I was taking this intermediate algebra course one spring semester, and mind you, math is my least favorite subject. I'm pretty sure everyone can relate to that. Math, it's a no. If somebody asks me what's 7 plus, no, you can't ask me that right now. So I just hated it. I've always felt stupid taking math class. I just felt slow, and I felt like everybody else was just so smart. They're just getting it quick. So I was taking taking that course, and of course, with the growth mindset, I made sure like I want to maintain my A. So I went to a math lab to ask for help, and I talked to my peers and asked for help as well. And so at the end of the semester, it was the final day, and I recently watched a documentary called The Secret. It's also a book. And it talked about law of attraction, visualization, about what you want in your life in order for you to be successful. So that inspired me a lot. So that morning I went to class having this, I was grateful for this, listing all these things that I'm grateful for. And I went to class with confidence and just keep telling myself that you're going to be okay. You're going to get an A, you're going to pass this class just fine. And before the class started, I went to the restroom, and on the way there I saw my professor. And I said, good morning, and she said, good morning back. And she was like, are you going to the restroom? I was like, yes. She was like, okay. And she started walking with me. I was like, are we going to the restroom together? This is the weirdest thing ever. So we were walking, and we stopped before, we didn't go to the restroom together. And she talked to me. She was like, so I wanted to talk to you because I noticed that you have a good grade in your class, and you're very responsible, you're always on time, and you're very friendly with your peers. And I talked to the coordinator for supplemental instruction, which is a program at Fullerton College where other student leaders facilitate in different courses. And so she was like, so I sent an email, I highly recommended you, I wanted to talk to you first before I talk to another student who I also choose. But I was wondering if you're interested in becoming an SI leader for me next semester. And mind you, before that I was thinking, since I want to become an educator, I was looking for an opportunity that's related to teaching. And when she mentioned that, I was like, and she was like, you also get paid. I was like, oh, I'm in. Like, let's do it, right? So I was like, that just like made me happy, and I was just so motivated. And it made me feel happy because somebody noticed my work ethic. And I was going to class just for myself to make sure that I get an A, so that so that I can feel good about myself. But the fact that somebody noticed what I was doing in class, and I didn't expect anything out of it, that made me feel good about myself. That made me more confident, and that made me appreciate math more. And now it's my third semester being an SI leader, helping college students understand the materials more in a fun way. And I'm able to befriend them, and I'm able to provide this environment for students to make math more fun for them. Because like I said, not a lot of people like math, right? So I'm really, really grateful for that, and just having her being, in a way, she's a mentor for me, and just believing in me, and she's just supporting me, and just putting me in a pedestal. Every time I do an announcement, or when she introduced me to the students, and on the first day of class, she would tell me great things about me. She was like, I'm so glad I chose Charmaine as my SI leader, and there's never a day I regretted it. So that helped me a lot.
So I want to thank this panel of students who took the time to come here and share and be vulnerable and talk about the challenges they face. So if you could thank them one more time. I want to commend all of you on embracing your success and taking on challenges and coming to learning opportunities like this. We encourage you to continue doing that, and I'm really grateful for the chance to speak with you, and I hope to hear more about your continued growth and success. Thank you.
Okay, one piece of advice, there's this quote that I really like. It says, my current situation is not my final destination. So meaning whatever you're at, whatever circumstances you're in, your situation you're in, that's only temporary. So therefore, if it's difficult, if it's challenging, just keep on going, keep on striving, keep on moving forward, because one day you're going to get to where you want to go.
Even if you fail once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, or 5 times, remember when you were a baby and you fell 50 times, you still got up and started walking.
Yeah!
And that's the best advice that I can give anyone, is just keep pursuing, keep trying, and never give up. Thank you.
So one advice I would really give is always take up an opportunity in life, because you never know where and how far it will take you. And you can reach your greatest potential by putting your best foot forward, believe in your capabilities, and you're halfway there.
Okay, so one piece of advice that I would give is that to always follow your dreams, never forget where you want to go.